sure it is, but it should be the same as usual. But let me know if you guys can't hear me or anything like that. Sounds coming through, but very quiet, like you're underwater. Okay. Just gonna see if we can make sure. Is that better? That a little bit clearer? Clear, Spiffy? I think it's coming through. It's showing up louder on my OBS now. Oh, I know why there's reverb. Or I think I know why there's reverb. Weird. Hey, Corey. Testing audio stuff. I'm having a hard time. My usual audio help is not here, so please let me know if stuff is too reverby or anything like that. Pretty sure. Maybe I have two mics on. Let me check. Can you guys hear me better now? Is it clearer? Because I think I accidentally had one of my headsets plugged in. Awesome. Okay, so that was the issue. It was one of my headsets being plugged in by accident. Alright. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that that is much better. I'm gonna do one last adjustment, and then it is now 5 o'clock, so let's get going here. Get some requests done. Alrighty. Welcome back. I'm glad to see y'all here today. I'm excited to see what fun transformation art we're gonna do. And I'm just gonna start off by saying, y'all, 34 requests? 34? That's a lot of requests! That's a lot! So, I mean, thank you. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the request stream, but dang! Looking at the summary, it doesn't look like there's too many from folks. Like, it doesn't look like there was one person who just spammed, but I did say like three to four, so some people took advantage of that. And oh wait, hold on. Yeah. No, we just had a lot of people. I mean, yeah, most people are putting in. Looks like the most anybody put in was 4, but that's all good. Hey, Scuzz! Afternoon. We're just talking about how there's 34 responses, which is crazy. Crazy, crazy. But that's what, I guess there's just a lot of people here now. Alright, so, that being said, let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see who our first victim will be. Whop. Okay, looks like somebody fairly at the end. So I'm going to turn up the audio just a little bit so I can have my lovely background music. But we have option 20. We have request 24. So let's see who that is. Hey, Frost! We got a lot of requests, and that's awesome. Look, our first pick of the day 20 is option 24, and it looks like it is Radian. Good to see. And the request is Goo Ball Incredibles thing, but TF. Okay. That could be fun. I think Radian and I talked about something similar for another for a different like possible commission. But yeah, let's go over it, see what the references are. Okay, so sort of those goo ball things, and then the only problem is I'm not sure that Radian actually specified what she wanted to be turned into. I mean, we have Rad, and we have the method of TF, but not exactly a like what they're becoming. So Radian, you in chat? Does not look like they're in chat right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick post in the general chat, say, hey, we're starting stream, for folks who aren't aware. Hey, Azure Bunny. So, I think in this case, because Radian's not here, usually I try to, if you're not here, I do still try to do the request, but I think this one needs a lot more clarification. Yeah. And if Rad does show up in chat, please let me know, and we can add them on, but there's just not enough clarification there for me to really do an image. So, let me just go ahead and spin again. And oh, it was so close to being 1 or 34. Looks like it ended up with 34, so whoever put their stuff in put their things in last, you get to go first today. And looks like that was Wander. Wander, you're first. And hello, 800. Hello, 8K. Good to see you here. Let's see. TG MTF human male to female Anthro-Volcarona from Pokemon, roughly 75% through the TF. A more surprised look as the wings grow out, tearing through the hoodie they're wearing. Okay. And there we go. So, not really just standard human guy in terms of outfit. hoodie, shorts, glasses, basic. Alright, okay. So, this one's definitely kind of a more... This one's definitely kind of a more artist's choice one. So, let's start by pulling inspiration for Volcarona. I mean, I generally know what Volcarona looks like, but it's important to get the sources, you know? Okay. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Gonna put the refs up here and get started. Need to zoom in so I've got some room in the start. Sorry, I'm just getting very specific with my windows so that I can see all the things all at once. Alright. Here we go. Now, we want a really nice sort of wing explosion, I guess, is what we're looking for. I'm assuming from this. I'm almost gonna see if I can pull some like anime girl inspo, some like Sailor Moon sort of pose with the like the Sailor Moon transformation pose. Understandable. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your time. Getting your chores done. So, some pretty good background. Hopefully, I'm just good, decent background chatter. I think I need to push it more, honestly. Let's see. Okay, so like, we want to go very dramatic. So big swoopies. And like, big swoopies, get that chest in there. Because it's a TF/TG, I'm kind of torn between having it be like, having the chest be featured or not. Because we're at like according to the thing, we're supposed to be like at 75%, you know. I think I'll go more hips focused in the body with, you know, just beginning with like early A cups, you know, the start versus the end product. And then I'm also thinking little buggy arms, because buggy arms. This is supposed to be a sort of an anthro version of Volcarona, which I get to do my own take on that. I mean, I did say we were going to be hips forward, but, you know, not that bootylicious. That's a bit too bootylicious. I have been having a time with art recently, honestly. My butt, I've been very crunchy. I need to start doing better stretches because my whole shoulder and arm has been decent. Like, my drawing arm has been decently sore recently, and I'm not quite sure how to fix it. Mostly, I think it's a mixture of already doing like a pretty hand-intensive job because, you know, I'm punching in phone numbers all day, and then also doing art on top of that. But I need to get better at doing my artist stretches. So I have gotten a little brace for it though, which should hopefully help. Okay, I kind of like most of the. Okay, so you're saying we want to go a little bit more TG forward. Okay, I will give her bigger boobs. And then getting sort of that very fun, like, one leg in front crossing pose is what I'm thinking. Increase the boob. Yeah. Yes, increase boob. I'm gonna get a bit closer to do the head because it's tricky. All the way tricky. Now, the question is, should we go more insect head or more human head? Because both will be cool. Both will be cool. It's just different shapes. So, hey, Ak. You'll be excited. We're doing Bug Girl, but Pokemon Bug Girl. Volcarona. And the big question right now is, do we go more of a stylized bug head, which I think could be cute. Look at that. And then there, get the little horns in. Antennae, no matter what, would be neat. Okay. Technically, I don't think Volcarona has antennae. They have more horns, but we can put these horns more antennae-like. Oh no! You forgot to order dinner? Dinner is important. You must feed the selves. Then I think it's sort of a sorry, I'm reshaping it. That's the one problem with doing art streams is you're trying to think at the same time you're trying to draw, and sometimes that doesn't come out well. Sometimes that doesn't come out well on the talk good section. I don't want to be so shocked, but like a little bit of shock would be sort of like a gentle shock, you know? Very fairy vibe. Does Volcaron Fairy sound like fun? Yeah, it does. Okay. Let's see. I think the way that these horns work in 3D space, we want them to sort of like come around the mouth, because they're kind of also like pseudo mandibles, you know? They're half mandible, half antennae. Kind of a weird, funky shape. I imagine there's sort of like a ridge right here, and then goes whoop, 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 whoop. Other important question, hair or no hair? Because bugs can be beautiful both ways, of course. But for hair, I'm sort of thinking something kind of simple up here, like I said, sort of fairy-like, that then sort of morphs into this floof collar that they've got. Sorta. I definitely want it to, transfer into. There's a yes. Looks great so far. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Glad we're both on the same vibes. Then I want to see some of this neck because that's elegant. But I also, and it emphasizes that she's doing the looking up pose. If you see some of the neck, but I also want to make sure that this is also transfers into a floofy neck collar. This is this whole fur bit that's prominent on the actual Pokemon design. Actually, fur boobs. Fur modesty cover. Hey, Drickus. Good to see you here. Everything gets to be floofy. Little bits of floof everywhere, maybe on the tops of the shoulders as well. Because it's a very fluffy Pokemon, except where it's not. Now, I'm imagining that her other hand is somewhere over here-ish, but obviously we can't see that because all the other stuff's coming in. Let's also get some double arms because, you can't be a bug without multiple limbs. The multiple limbs are essential. Otherwise, you're not classified as an insect. I'm gonna make a cute little hand going right here. Okay, I think I'm starting to getting in the groove now. Sometimes it takes a little bit once you start the stream to get in the groove, but think I'm pretty excited with where this is going. Glad you're liking it, Wander. Gonna put some elegant shoujo hands in there. Elegant. You know. Because again, we're going very Sailor Moon. I'll get elegant shoujo hands in there later, but you imagine them for me at the moment. Because sometimes sometimes I have the idea and the general shape, but not the actual execution. Sort of a Sailor Volcarona moment. Now, we need some... I'm thinking like there's sort of definitely a shredded clothes situation going on, because you don't gain that many limbs without some sort of shirt and clothing wreckage. And even if this was like a magical girl... If this was a magical girl transformation, you'd be getting more sparkles, but seeing as this is a not quite magical girl transformation, just pose inspired by it, we're gonna go a bit more ripped clothing route. Sorry if you guys can hear my dog, or my sister's dog, barking in the background. We have a fence that, like, goes right next to a major... What's it called? Not a major road, but it's the one road out of our neighborhood. So she always just barks incessantly at all the stuff going on. I'm getting some, like, fun thorax and abdomen detail there. This bottom bit's also got sort of a funky geometric shape. Let's see if I can manage sort of that side bit there, because it's got a more pokey end and more roundy shaped bits here. Maybe not less round, more like it's hard to describe, but it's got a shape. An important shape. Sort of like a banana shape. Square banana. Then these poor pants are also probably at the hanging on for the edge of their life, due to big old bug butt coming through. I mean, it is a nice bug butt, but it's obviously not something your clothes are going to manage super well. Then, let's see if I can just do a little bit of detail here. Like, I'm just going to put some drawstrings in. And a little bit of that sort of detail to indicate that these were once... I'm thinking like some sort of sweatpant type of deal. That's why they're not absolutely shredded, because they're kind of stretchy. If they were jeans, they'd be gone. Bug butt is scourge of pants. Yes, indeed. And add the same detail over here. And now to tackle wingage. Wingage. Actually, hold on, let me fix some face shapeage before I do that. There we go. I wonder what actual butterfly wings look like when they've just come out. Okay. So, looking at these when they're like first hatched, they look a little crumply. A little crumple. Oh, well, this one says very crumpled, but okay. Yeah, a little bit soggy, a little bit crumply. Imagine this poor girl's gonna get the intense urge to go hang upside down somewhere for a good hour or so. Right immediately after TF, so that her wings can get that. But all right, got 3 sets here. We wanted to draw them just a little crumply, but also generally maintaining the same sort of shape. And get some little sprinkling of some pepper sprinkles in there. I don't quite like that shape. That's not a good shape. Not happy with that shape. And look, okay, so these 2 are in front, then the big one is behind it. Maybe a little bit of wetness dripping down from that top wing. And this big middle one goes behind here. And get some pepper spots as well. And let's get this thing going on back here to indicate that there's a second set over there. And okay, so the other arm would probably be here somewhere. Should I put another little stubby guy coming out here? Just to kind of balance it out more, because right now it's very back heavy. It's very back heavy. Let's make some little flappy motions here. I like that. Sort of like their... Because they also do that. They flap their wings to get the blood circulating. So I like some cute little flappy movements. But I should probably do a little arm right here as well, just to help balance shit out a bit. Okay. I'm not quite sure. Does it look good? What do you guys think? Maybe tilt it a little bit? Like, have it so... Oh, not that small. No, that doesn't look good. Let's just leave it how it is. Leave it how it is. Okay. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I mean, I'm gonna add a couple more pepper spots to these wings. And obviously they'll look better once I finish it. But I think things are in a good enough... oh, did I draw on the wrong layer again? Yes, I put the pepper spots on the wrong layer. Oh, God. Alright, one sec. Removing the pepper spots from the wings so that I can put them on the right layer. Because otherwise it will drive me bonkers that I can't mess around with it, you know? Pepper spots back. Okay. Alrighty. I think I'm going to call that done for now. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Looks like you guys are pretty happy with how it turned out. Obviously I'll add more detail once I ink stuff. But yeah. It's awesome. Gonna make sure I write Wander next to it. Make my Wander. And we can move on to our next piece. Let's see. Where are you guys? Gotta remember to do this on the other screen. Go. Glad you like it. I think it turned out pretty good. Alright, done. And just take a look. Make sure we don't have any new ones. And spin again! I know 24 is rads, and unless they're here to help, what's the word? In order to help clarify what was going on with their drawing, we're gonna skip it. So, yeah, feedback. But let's spin again. It's crazy that I picked hers twice. Okay. And we got number 28. The 28 of 34. Who's it gonna be? Looks like it's Avery. Heck yeah! We better ping them, because I think didn't they say that they're doing chores? Kitsune form of Faye Avery. So same evil vibe, but Kitsune instead. Okay. Couldn't find any good Kitsune refs, but I can generally guesstimate. Alright, so this character I've worked with before. Hi, Avery! Yep, it's you! It is you! In fact, it's your Kitsune one. But yeah, Ninetales, pre-Japanese kimono thing. Nice! So, let us go ahead and do some cute poses. I'm kind of feeling like I'm gonna have this character sitting, like probably full Anthro Fox. Okay. Still want a good sit position. That way we can have the tails fanning out behind her. And sort of an evil little head tilt, I think. Like, got her hand right here. legs and very coy. Coy, mischievous, and evil. Posing is what I'm thinking. And I'm assuming, with all the white hair that was already in the ref, they'd be if I was doing color, they'd probably be like a white and red theme, a la almost all a Hisui and Zorua. Then let's go ahead and get Leggy in here. Do. Or because I think the original, the red and white scheme is actually particular to a traditional kitsune. Like there's some like subcategories of kitsune, and one of them is specifically a red and white. Be right back. Got a mow part of the yard. See you soon, or see you later. And then maybe not exactly how I want it posed, but we want sort of a fun head tilt. I'm not sure yet, but I'll figure it out in a moment what the other hand is doing. Right now I'm going to put that's too straight. I want the head to be tilted. And we'll figure that out in a moment. I should probably go. I'm gonna fix that in a sec because that head's not looking right. I need to zoom in to figure it out, honestly. But we want an arm here. And clean up that spaghetti. Perhaps some Sakura petal type magic. Okay. See what I can do. I'm thinking maybe a little hand flourish here. Eating dinner is important, people. Eat them so that you have energies. Okay, let's figure out this head situation. So I'm gonna get this. I don't need to install. Gonna put some vague indication where the eyes are, and then where the snout's gonna be. Sort of build it out, because that is the one downside of front forward anthro faces. They can get a little bit wonky. They can look just a touch weird. double check this image so we still get the essences of the character, you know? Yeah. I'm gonna open image in new tab because I don't want to deal with all the weird. Okay. Now, I'm not super happy with this. I think I drew this a bit too small because as you can see, all my pixels are very crunchy. Okay, yeah, see? All these, I usually like to save space, but this is a bit too space saving. So let's Control T. Make our girls a little bigger. There we go. Now hopefully it won't look like so crunchy when I do lines here. There we go. It's still crunchy, but it's a tad less crunchy. Get that foxy nose in there. And get a little bit of cheek fluff. Here we go. That eye is messed up. I'm gonna cheat. Cheating, because I like how that eye came out. So, just gonna reposition it. Whoop. And let's move it. Come on. Control T just a touch. Do a little bit of warping. That's not... Erase a tad bit so that I can focus the eyes better. Going for a heavier... I know that there is a really nice like kitsune mask, and I'm gonna see if I can draw inspo from that. Yeah. Let's go with traditional because a lot of that is also weeb shit. Okay, this is less weeb shit, but it is the stuff that the weeb shit bases things on. So, okay. Yeah, that too. seems more trustworthy. History of Masks. Got some interesting stuff. I do like this little forehead decoration thingy. Gonna see if I can pull from that. I still want this to be recognizably the right character. I know this character has some scars. So let's see if we can add those scars in to make it more the right character. We'll see where that ends up coming with. But the other thing that I want to bring to make it sure that we know it's the same character is the anime hair. They've got the anime hair vents. Which, honestly, with the Kitsune, kind of works perfectly because it gives it a good place to put the ears behind. They're good ear hiders, so you don't think about where they connect to the head too hard. Hehehe. There we go. Look at them cute ears. They're very cute ears. Maybe a little bit of silliness, and then let's get the background hair in. Zoom out a bit because I've been doing detail work too much, and that's definitely how you get inconsistent spacing and stuff like that. Like, the body now is a bit too small for the head. So let's just increase the body size. Like, sure, they can be petite, but, you know, this is, like, wrong proportions. So increase the body. Whoop. And redraw a little bit. Okay, now the important question is what kind of fancy clothes they're wearing, because I'm imagining, I'm imagining some sort of kimono, and I haven't actually drawn kimonos beforehand, so you know what, I think I'll put the rest of the, I'll put the tails in right now, and get this hand sort of in vague position. Tails galore. At least with tails, they're easy to sketch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and need to fit one last tail in there. Uh-oh. spot. See if I can get rid of them. Block. Yay. They have been killed. Now where to sneak that last tail in? Not down here. Not down there, because I kind of want the... let's just put it right up here. Okay. If I wanted to be... I think I might just put the other arm down this away. Just an indication that it's there. You know. She's sitting on an imaginary surface. So you can have the other arm balancing out. And now we look for kimono reference. Lots of pretty ones. Do we want a kimono or do we want one of those like shrine maiden outfits? Both would be cool looking. It's just, you know, options. Yeah. And we do kind of want the bad... We do want to emphasize the body a bit, I think. You know, to play up that coy... sort of sultry feel. But let's see what we can do. Partially open kimono? Maybe. I think the problem mainly here for me would be that I don't know the layers of the garment well enough to like accurately portray a partially open one. So I think what you're gonna get is my best attempt. Let's see. Yes. I You can't reply to the original message. What's going on? The Sakura Petal magic. I can do some like cute little decor. But I can do some little Sakura flowing around. Just to sort of indicate that there's some transformation, some magical elements involved in this. Let's see if I can figure out some sort of I'll scroll back up. Yeah, I was thinking some Sakura Petal type magic. Sorry, I'm just reading everything. Okay. I can move the hand back up. I decided I wanted to put it down, just because that was easier. But I can put it up and have them doing a little bit of magic. Sort of a little show. Then a little bit of doing these little petals and some little sparkles. It's not super detailed right now, but that's because, time and energy. And let's sort of do a little bow out where the kimono is. And from what I'm seeing, let's see if I have a seated position. do these sleeves work? These sleeves should be like sort of trailing, I think. Not great, because I need to study more kimonos to draw them accurately. But I think that works. I think that's fairly pretty, and hits the right vibes. What'd you want to ask, Avery? I haven't checked the Nat 20 pages, actually. I haven't checked them yet, mostly because life has been busy, so I have not opened that. But I will let you know if it needs more, if I need some description and stuff like that. I think, yeah, a kimono collar would come out sort of like that. Okay. And I think that's where I'm gonna stop it for now. Maybe, just add a little bit of the foxtail indicators. But I'm gonna end that here. I think it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with where we got it to. See if I can erase that enough and it looks all decent. Yeah, okay. Alright. Let's see who our next victim is. I accidentally moved this entire layer. Whoops. There we go. Alrighty. Spin the wheel time, yeah. Get rid of all my other research. Whop. And done. Do we spin again? No whammies. $32! Let us see who 32 is. And Frost! Looks like you're up! And, ooh, that's a fun one. Hydra recruitment, where a female Hydra is merging / transforming a guy to be one of their new heads. Neat. Neat, neat, neat. Just check and see if they're in chat. Make sure we, I like people to be able to be here to sort of see what they got going on. No, looks like there's no ref sheets, so we're going on instinct. Whoops, that's nope, too big. All right. So, Hydra time. And I don't think I've really done a merging TF before, but it should be interesting. First, let's get some other people's ideas of Hydras. And I need to learn how to spell. Images. Okay. Real life hydras, they're fun. Okay, so sort of a main body and then snake heads. Okay. Just sort of getting the face. Switch the legs end up being the head, or the top of the body become the head. Yeah. Somebody should poke Frost in the Discord for me, because I think they're here, but they said they had to do some stuff. So they're like in the background. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they... Yeah, here's Frost. I had to order dinner. But yeah. Whoops, didn't mean to reply to people. So, whoop de whoop. Yep. That is the Frost we were talking about. So let's figure out. Hey Frost! You got some stuff, you got a fun Hydra merge going on. Okay, how do I think my main question here is, oops, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. How do I want to do this? I'm thinking maybe sort of a, like, have the Hydra, like, sort of picking them up and hugging the character and having them be merging from that point, like I almost like want him to be, being embraced by the other two heads. Right now this is very visual spaghetti, but I hopefully you'll see what I mean. So, we have one Hydra head here, one Hydra head there, and our willing victim being embraced in the center. And then that's their head that's currently changing as well. And get some armies in here. He's obviously being, like, picked up and lifted. Very visual spaghetti. But we can figure it out. Now, let's see if I can... Let's define the body shape more. So we want her to be reptilian and feminine, but I'm not a big, boobs on reptiles person. So unless you specifically are like, yeah, let's go boobs on reptiles, then I'll go for it. But, like, if not, I'm just gonna cook with my own little design. Yeah, just very femme. Then let us zoom in a touch. And this is gonna be our human's back, and they are being held and merging right here. And as you can see, their head is also beginning the sort of reptile snaky transformation. Hence the stupid long neck. Then let's do some definition up in here for our hydras. Get some neck action, and I'm gonna also sort of have the merge happening right here between their like collarbone area. Then let's see, do we want to go more dragony or more snaky inspired for the heads? I think I want the heads a bit smaller. I've drawn them too big. I'm gonna go a bit snaky and reach and change up the angle on that neck. Honestly, almost kind of swan-like. In a way. Let's see if I can adjust. Because I want these curves to be elegant. Elegant, but also reptilian. Then here's where the shoulder is. We want a nice, strong, but also soft. A terrifying goose hydra. Not entirely goose, but goose adjacent. I almost want him to be like laying his head down, like the guy wants him to be like almost laying his head down in between the two heads, like he's, you know, being accepted and cuddled and hugged. Just very sweet. And give us a hand here for holding on, because is tricky. I know you're a fan of very, very soft, tender moments like that, so that's why I'm going that way. Let's get the mood in there. And then let's get this other head. Looking in from behind. And maybe sort of a, again, a cuddle, nuzzle. Got one hand supporting here, and the other supporting like along here to make sure, make sure the cohesion is good. Okay, that's hopefully less, spaghetti and gets the vibe across. Let's make sure we see this guy's shoulder over here so that we can tell he's not quite all the way merged. But it's in the process of happening. And then some belly stretches, not stretch, but like these belly scales. Add some more leg. And a big swoopy tail. Honestly, I kind of want to like do the tail and then end the feet there because it just sort of as a, it seems like a good, the focus is up here, but I'll figure it out in a sec. Probably need to look at it in a big way first and then make sure things are where I want them to be. Let's put them on. Actually, let's put them on their knees, because Hydra is big. I doubt that our human would be very comfortable being, held up in the air. Something like that. Or well, here. figure it out later. Let's do the part that I want to do, which is face detailing. Snakes have these kind of little derpy mouths in general, or they kind of look like this. Little W's. I kind of immediately assumed anthro, but sorry, that's my fault. I can go more feral if you want. I just sort of went for it. Sorry. Then I want them all to be sort of very cozy. Then we want this guy's face to still be sort of semi-human. So I'm thinking like a little bit of an ear. Sort of a soft smile in there. A little bit of hair fluff still going on, but that's being quickly lost. Now let's make sure they have a little bit of hair fluff still going. Yeah, a bit too far along to do feral. Sorry. Then let's do a little bit more shoulder definition so that the anatomy is better understood of what's actually going on here. You know? You want shoulder here, elbow, let's detail some nice big claw hands for these girls. Sort of sweet, but definitely also strong and terrifying. Something about being held very gently with super strong claws. You know? You know. Then let's put a... You have this little bone that sticks out of the back of your neck. And it's very useful for making sure that people know that that's the back of somebody's body. There's small, strange little landmarks that you can use to show off bits of the human body. One of them is that bump on the neck. The other is certain folds and how like here I'm gonna put a little indicator of shoulder blades. And I definitely want to tilt this hand a bit so that it looks like, you know, she's sort of holding a 3D object versus a flat object. So to show that she's supporting the bit that's not quite merged yet. I'm going to define that shoulder just a bit more. A wee bit more so I don't have any nasty tangents. Another bit that's good for body demarcation and indicating, elbow. And I should probably adjust that so that he's not like, you know, so that it's not bending the wrong way. And then arm over here. He's embracing them back. That is too big of a thumb. Okay. More accurately, if I have a thumb, it's going to be out this way. Just sort of acting as a counterbalance. Okay. Doop, doop, doop. Little wavies to indicate knuckles. Now to get... That is not my eraser. Now get some shoulder action in here. Let's see if I can do some fun scale texture bits. And also indicate some elbow. She's strong girl. That's what we want. Very strong. Good arms for hugging. A couple more scale indicators. We don't want her to look like a bald chicken. We definitely want her to read snake and not weird worm. Let's see if we can sort of indicate a clavicle here. And hydras must have really weird clavicle situations going on. Really weird. Okay, and Get that. I think maybe we want a little fantasy. I mean, mostly snaky, but a little fun, little bit of fantasy. Maybe they get their own little crests to differentiate them. One sister has one type of crest. Another sister has another. Control Z. That's not what I was trying to do. We're getting there. That would be a good idea, yeah. A little bit of crest sticking through the hair. We can do that. Let me just adjust my thing here. I'm gonna lock this layer so I don't accidentally do stuff on it. I'm gonna give him sort of a little crown-like crest. Sort of a fun little indicator. I don't know. The little nose horn forming. A couple little of those. Alright. Now to work on this other sister here. I kind of want to give her some winged lashes. A little bit more femme, I guess. A little more elegant. Then I almost... Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for it. Let's do a little tongue flicky. Little kissy. A bit. Do want to elegant it up a little bit more, so I think she's gonna have some more dramatic side cheek floof crests. And since we're looking at her from a more top of the head perspective. Yeah, I like that still. I just think I need to adjust the rotation. Yeah, that's better. And Some little large nose scales up here. With some more dramatic sort of fin-like textures. You know, that way both the sisters can be all the sisters can be different but similar. Make the eyes a touch bigger, I think. Zoom out to see where we're at. That's not bad. Let's get some scales on this arm too. So it matches. Merging is hard to portray, I'm gonna say. Like, how do I show that this is becoming part of this? Sort of, I think I need more sort of drippiness in between the two. Like his body is turning to goo. Yeah, a little bit more goo like is what I think. A little body horror-y, maybe, but haven't you guys ever had a hug so good you wanted to just become part of the person? And touch of cleanup around here. Giving them hips, so let's give them some good monstery feet. I'm gonna rotate stuff so that I can draw better. There's a lot of squish that happens when sitting on your legs. But it's tricky. Now, I do want to get a tail in here. Because it doesn't feel right for them not to have a tail, you know? But with the pose I put them in, it might not be the easiest to manage. Let's zoom out a bit. Select, deselect. No, don't delete that. I wanted to add one. So let's just play around a bit with. Okay. So, your spine would go down this way. That's where the spine is. Tail exits through spine. Okay. You can have a shorty tail and just have it trailing behind. Or we can go more snaky again. And I almost kind of want it like piling up behind. I'm not sure how well that would translate. Let's give it a shot though. Whoops. Need to go in. In. And get these little fun squiggly bits. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I probably have spent too long on this one. Let me just see if I can vaguely finish it. I'll figure out that foot later. But what do we think? Something like this look good? Thank you. Glad you like it. I'm gonna call it done for now because, yeah, I probably spent too much time. I should set timers, but, you know, sometimes I get really into focusing on the details. Okay, so, time to pick another one. Wop, 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 wop. All right, 23. Yeah. That's the reverse of what we just did. 32 to 23. And it looks like Red's actually back, so maybe after this one we do we'll go back to that, but we'll check on this. Okay, continuation of the sheep TF from last month. Okay, let me just pull that up, see where it was. Okay. Earlier on, your like goot, you're like a Incredibles Goo Ball TF thing came up. But we knew how you wanted to TF and who you wanted to TF, but not what you wanted to be becoming. So we kind of like hopped onto the next stuff until you were in chat. But yeah, we can do that next after we work on this sheep TF for Werenimal. And I want a continued progression of it, so more more full anthro instead of mid anthro. Let's have sort of more of an open body position, open shock as they're realizing what's going on. Some big foofy legs. Wearing them all in chat. Sheepy time. Okay. And I kind of want to do a fun, like, torn look with this hoodie. As the sheep bits have become far too hard to contain for it. Get some wool spilling over. Yeah, I believe they're the same. Yeah, they're the same one in the Discord and out of the Discord. Then this poor leg has already suffered a lot, but I figure this other leg, pants leg, has basically turned into cropped shorts. Hey, we're doing good. Working on some sheep now. Some sheep with some poofy sheep wool. Let's get those cute little cloven hooves done. And the good thing about having art that I've already done is I can reference off of it. You know? Like, how did I creatively solve this problem before? Oh no, Branko Poof is what become. That's... Yeah, that's part of what we were trying to figure out for yours. Okay. This is sort of a just noticed I'm a sheep. Oh no, why? I suddenly am a lot warmer, but why? How do sheep faces look? Ship images. Got sort of a cute, rather square face. We want definitely like a what? No, that's not how we want it. Equine and bovine and other hooved mammals are very tricky to furry sometimes. Just they've got a lot of funky angles. I want definitely a surprised look. Yeah, I think that works. Cute little V-shaped sheep nose. And then get that in there. Some little ears. And yeah, the heads are very different to humans. Now, you want to still add a little bit of the waves and the spiky bits, but we also want them to read as wool. So add some more texture in there. Some more curls versus flicks, but still keep some flicks. I think. Time to zoom out and check proportions again because, you know, well, it's not too bad. It's not horrible. I think I might have put the head in the slight wrong place, to be honest, but I can adjust that, and it maybe is a touch too big. There we go. I don't know, it's maybe reading a bit too much rabbit, I guess. Something about the muzzle isn't right. Maybe it's eye positioning. I think it's where sheep have very straight noses and high up eyes. Like, the structure is not right. Or at least not it's not anthropized right. Like, yeah, maybe it's pulling a bit more cow now, but, you know, better in the same family than not. Maybe make the ears a touch shorter. I think we definitely need to include sort of that a fluffy neck. Get some poof in there. At the very least, you know, the poof reads his sheep. I'm not happy with it, but it's somewhat better. No, still need to mess with it. Damn it. Let's see. Okay, up, sort of a U, and then down. Add some more floof to that. Okay. I think I've messed with that about as much as I'm happy with it. Decently happy. Decently happy with that. Now let's get some hands in, or hands in the midst of becoming hooves. And some puffy arms. Some sort of very weird hoof hands. Some tears in this shirt as it's slowly becoming replete with plush wool. Yep, woolly time. One hand still sort of human, I think. So we can, see its progression. Maybe some like merging fingers. Kind of gross, but yeah. Okay. I think I need to adjust this bit a little bit. Like, just make it slightly bigger. Select, deselect. Okay. I think I'll just leave it as it was. Go back. Did an okay job. I need to not mess with it. Although it could mess with this bit a little bit. So it's less, no. The shape wasn't quite right. Okay. What do you think, Wearnimal? Pretty nice? Any little changes you think it needs? Awesome. Glad you like it. Oops. Don't need to be full screen. Where am I full screen? Okay, there we go. Bye. Yeah. Ship time. Okay, so let's pop on over to 24, which is the one that got picked for you, Radian, which is the Goo Balls thing from Incredibles, but TF. The whole question here is what to TF into, because, you know, we've got the... Yeah, Artless Autherite is Radiant. Yep, in stealth mode. So I'm taking a look at, see how many we got done. We got 4 done. Nice, not bad, not bad. I'm gonna stick Wearnimal up here. And then message you in the Discord real quick. Like, okay, so looking in the Discord, it says, would it be okay to do like character TF, but it's a character as another species / 2 characters combined or something? Though vibes are weird and scattered tonight, but if not, I have some other ideas. I'm not sure. I think that would be a little bit complicated. I'm gonna go ahead and ask for other ideas. Just saying, that's a tons chest complex for stream. What's your other thoughts? Because I did accidentally spend a bit too much time on Frosts. Not that it's, you know, not that it's too bad. I just got focused there. So let's see. I think I'll check in with myself around 8:30 or so. Not 8:30, around 7:30 or so, see where I'm at energy-wise. And I may or may not do another, yep. May or may not do another hour of streaming, depending on energy level. Raiden says, Gatory, Shark Goal, something akin to this weird friend, which I'll open image. Okay. That's pretty cute. Or Toralei or Isabelle-ish. Toriel, I haven't done Toriel before. I might try actually, what do we think, guys? Character TF of Toriel or Isabelle using the sort of goo method that they were thinking. So yeah, this is the method. What do you think, Toriel or Isabelle? Okay, so we got 2 for Toriel, 1 for Isabelle. So Radiant says, if you want to add some features and you can make her look a little bit more less off the shelf. Okay, let's go with Toriel, since that seems to be the one that most people are thinking. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our other reference, which is just the base rad. The base rad. And pun intended, let's ball. Rad suggested in Discord maybe slight punky stylings to this tutorial, so a little bit different than normal. Okay, so let's start by putting the body that's going on underneath the goo. Yes, big squish. And just put some the general body form of our basic rad. But I don't need to get too detailed with it, as, you know, it's going to be covered a decent amount. Okay. And this one's supposed to be sort of like trying to shield her face from the balls, I think. But, you know, that's not working very well. Get a neck in here. And part of a head. Some of the regular hair. Be sort of where the nose is. And hoodie. Get a little bit of a fun bit of flying hair there. And then let's get gooey. I should probably not search this without safe search because folks are rabid. Okay. All right. So I definitely want one, like a big, a goo ball, like splatted on the face. That's currently reshaping it, you know, into becoming the goat muzzle type thingy. Hopefully we're not going to have the same problem as the sheep muzzle. But maybe it's because this will be cartoony enough that it won't cause issues. Or, you know, stretch my ability, because, you know, it's not the drawing's fault that I suck sometimes, you know? All right. And sort of get a little forming goo horn up here. And gonna get some very cartoony paw bits going, I think. Because I want this hand to be mostly taken over. And I've seen tutorial done with, like, sometimes with paws, sometimes with fingers, but we're going goopy and sort of, you know, sort of rubbery, so let's play it up. Yeah, Goopy Goat Mom was picked. And I'm gonna put the eye over there. Or at least an indication of an eye. And there's there's her ear. Get a big old splattering going on this corner. So I'm assuming they're coming from like this direction, you know? Whoops. I kind of want to have one like in the middle of impact. I know they don't really like sploosh as much in the like actual movie, but semantics. And this is sort of going and becoming cartoony goat feet. Maybe next year I'll do a what's it called? April Fool's stream. That might be fun. I'll be honest, with these blobs, it's a little hard to indicate unless there's like color what's going on. But yeah, only meme TFs chosen by others. Maybe. And gonna have this whole hand pretty much PTF'd, I think. Oh, no choice, just give ref. That would be fun. That would actually, I would enjoy that. Sort of just you're at my mercy. You get what you get type of stream. I could see that being real fun. Twirl's got sort of this like collar thing going on. And then Delta shield on the chest. I'm gonna have it sort of be like ballooning out a bit. So she's a bit more recognizable. Oop, so let's have just a couple of goo balls on this foot, like it's just been caught. Just barely becoming a foot. And let's get some under details done. Like, yeah. Rad's usual actual clothes. Being subsumed. Yep. Subsumed by goo. Gonna add an incoming one. Wop, wop, wop. And then, honestly, I think finishing up these last little details here, and I think I'm gonna call it good. What do you think, Rad? I know you're probably still on stealth mode. So I'm gonna do a quick awesome. Awesome, awesome. Glad you're happy with it. And about here's where I'm Oh, they can hear now? Gotcha. Possibly. Okay. I'm just gonna do a quick assessment here, see where I'm at. Like, mental-wise. I've got about 5 done. Which, you know, seems like a drop in the bucket compared to, you know, having 30 or so. You know, 30 or so entries, but energy-wise, I should probably see if I think I'm gonna try maybe going a little bit over. Let's go to 8:30. I'm gonna go to 8:30 and then probably call it a night. Just a little bit over. Whoop. Alright. So let's see who gets picked next. Maybe get some water and hydrate. Yeah, I haven't really done any of that this stream. I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break, grab some water, use the bathroom, then I'll be right back on and get started on the next stuff. Alright, be back in a little bit, guys. Okay. I've returned. Got some water. And should be hopefully ready to roll again in a little bit. Let's take a look. Yeah, stretches is definitely necessary. Crunch some legs. And yeah. Maybe we need some more. Yep, got some water. I think you're right, Zila. There might need to be more restrictions on the amount of requests you can do. I hate to do it, but it's getting a little crazy, and I think it's that there's not enough random chance element to it now. So maybe for next time I'll limit it to 1 or 2 requests. That's it. You know? 2 request max. Oh no. I'm gonna get one more done, because I'm gonna go to 8:30. So let's see who it is. I think we did 28 before, but let me double check. If not, we'll do it, but yeah, we did do 28 before. So roll again. All right, 16. That's definitely one we haven't done before. We did not get a lot of the low numbers this time. I'd like to stay right up top. Okay. Ah! Looks like we want a guy mid-TF into Spider-Girl. I don't have any great art of the Spider-Girl that do the TF. It's a Spider Principal, if that helps. I also have other Spider-Girl art, which might be good. Guys, the starting guide from these sequences. Note, long hair and old-timey clothes if possible, please. Okay. Okie dokie. Sorry! Oh! I'm dumb. Let me swap it over. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Did not mean to accidentally give you no visuals. But yeah. Sorry, I had this over here and was looking at it, so I couldn't see the chat telling me that the information screen was still on. Oof. But yeah, looks like the idea is we have a guy who's mid-TF into a Spider-Girl. You did! You won! Huzzah! So let me pull up the refs you sent me. Alright, open link. Gotcha. Open link. Cute. And then this is one of the ones I did, and this is our guy who seems to be, he's a lovely man who seems to have quite a lot of issues with becoming, well, not issues, but he is TF prone. He is a man who ends up in a lot of situations where he gets a new form. Alright. We're going for a Drider. Alright. So, let's see about... See if we can do a good mid-TF into a spider lady. I kind of want to... I had a decently fun pose a while back that I did for a spider TF. Let me see if I can pull it up in my DeviantArt. Kind of an older piece of mine. But I might do a sort of similar pose to it. Bear with me. This one. It's called Too Many Legs. And I might do something sort of like this where he's like sort of stumbling and... trying to figure out these new limbs as the upper body is maybe catching up a bit. So let's dive in. Alright. I've got my other ref off to the side. Bugs are fun, but they're also challenges. We ended up a bit bug heavy this time, you know? We got a Volcarona up there. And then we're gonna have this poor fellow in the midst of figuring out his new spider form. Gonna take up a little bit of the page, definitely. All these limbs actually sort of come off of this mid-body. I'm just being lame. So, got a big old butt. And then let's have him sort of... I like the looking backness of the other pose, but I'm gonna push it a little. Like, because I imagine this TF is maybe a bit of a fast one. Yep. Sort of like... Then he's got one... I'm kind of debating doing one creepy human leg that's still not quite there. One creepy human leg. One spider leg. You know, 3 spider legs. We're definitely in the horror TF here for a bit. Oh, maybe I'll hold off on the horror a bit. Then get some budding changes up top. Get the arm down and sorry to any arachnophobes here. Okay, let's see if I can do a weird human leg. human leg that's maybe mid-spider leg? Again, funky but weird. Nah, I'm not liking it. Not liking it. We're doing all spider legs. Sorry. Thought I could manage it, but it's gonna look weird. Maybe I'll explore that some other time. We got one leg back out here. Another sort of somewhere over here-ish. Because spiders kind of splay themselves out a lot. Like, in general. They tend to go for the whole strategy of having just a wide base. Sorry, Corey. It's just sometimes how it is. In this case, honestly, just roll of the dice. It's always just a roll of the dice. Night, Drake. Hope you have a good night, too. Well, let's get this thing underneath the body. And pull another leg out here. Man. Another sort of creepy crawly leg over here-ish. Spider legs are like weird little straw bits all stuck together. They have 3 of them, which is I think where most people go wrong, is they don't understand that it's a versus a And we're kind of bullshitting the connection under here because let's get some like plating, almost some exoskeleton plating going up this way. It's maybe a little bit more like scorpion, but we're gonna ignore that for now. Glad you like the Volcarona TF. I was pretty happy with how that one turned out too. Let's get this limb that's in front up here done. I definitely want this to be like a dear God, what have I become moment for this poor fellow. I mean, I know usually you're a big fan of, kind of loving. You're also with Frost in that you like a good lovey-dovey TF. But this one definitely has a good amount of body horror in it, so I feel it's appropriate to highlight that this time. And a shirt maybe hanging down a bit. Like a little bit unbuttoned right there. Because that would have been originally like tucked into some pants that are now absolutely obliterated. Pants obliteration. And then this neckline's maybe plunging down a bit further than it used to, I think. Oh, there's like a pair of geese that just flew across my window eye level. Funky. Pants have been obliterated, yes. Pants have left the building. I imagine this, because he wears his shirts like rolled, sort of old-fashioned and then rolled up. I imagine, you know, the roll has unrolled here because of stress and gravity, so putting that down there. Maybe he's still human on that hand, jitney on the other. Okay. That could be fun. Okay. Fair. We'll see what we can do. Making this hand the sort of chitinous hand. We want these fingies sort of splayed out. Buggy. Because it is holding him up. Ooh, maybe some webbing stuck to the hand? I could see that, like, sort of went through a spider web and that caused this crazy change. Let's put the neck in here and the head in. Thinking sort of a good middle point between masculine and feminine on the face. Let me get this hand done up so that it's in front and done up. Should probably go in with a thinner brush. That would help. Dog's barking at a airplane that just went over. Oh, that's not a fun hand. It had good bone structure. Why did it turn out this bad? Foreshortening my mortal enemy. Oh, and I've run out of... You foreshortening! Ah! It is not great. That's a bit better. Yeah. Better. I will figure it out later. A little bit of webbing stuck on this arm too. Zoom in on the face to focus in. Enjoy your exercise. Enjoy your exercise, Frost. Gotta put the mouth a bit more this way. And then some. I've done mandibles before, but I'm trying to remember how I did them. I've done some like sort of stylized ones before, which I think might be a vibe. we'll figure it out. They are hard to make work because, yeah, face burn. They're a very alien element to human faces, and so tend to throw people off a bit. How about that? Does that look all right? Like I'm imagining that we got one in, but the other one's not quite formed yet. Coming out of this sideburn a touch. This sideburn, which is rapidly becoming a like Hime Bang type of deal, I think. You know, one of those little like side princess bang bits. Okay, I'm feeling happier with this. It's getting there. Let's put a little bit of hair growth happening. I can see about doing some eyeball. This guy's got. I'm imagining most of the hair is getting kind of slick backed now because it's got more weight. But I'm gonna keep the like original hairline, just because it's longer. A little bit like that, yeah. Let's pull this a little longer too. So it's no longer a sideburn, and that mandible is really just appearing out of nowhere. Spooking the crap out of her. Gonna decorate that sort of temple area with an eyeball. Maybe a matching one on this corner. I think I need to pull a little bit of short hair up here. Like, it's pulled back. But it needs a little bit more oomph towards the top. Towards this section. It's getting a bit crowded right here, but we'll figure it out. I'll do a smaller eye, I think. A little bit more discreet. Okay. I'm sort of liking where we're getting. Something's funky with this shoulder, I think. But I think I can fix it. No, maybe not. Foreshortening, my enemy has stricken again. Let's do a little bit of messing around with things. One, bring this down a bit lower, make it a bit bigger. Is it messy? Yes, but I think that fits proportions a bit more. Otherwise it was too small. Too small. And then this needs to be a full curve, like, and the other one it was a partial curve. I think some line weight's definitely going to help here, like to differentiate things, because right now things are all a bit mucky because I haven't been paying attention to line weight very much with this pick. But once it gets some good line weight on it, it's gonna change up, which I probably won't do that here because, you know, this is the sketch. Let's make sure I have the rest of these spider limbs out here, because otherwise, poor spiders only has half the support they need. And of course some lumps and bumps over here to indicate other spooder limbs. The people of too many limbs. That is what spooters are. Alright. Gonna take some stuff in, take a quick look. I think the spider butts may be a bit too small in general. So let me just, well, one, deselect, select it all, scooch it. Select, deselect. Get that spider bod. Control T. Make it a bit more spiderlicious. Chunky body. Got the I like big butts and I cannot lie song in the head. I think that looks more proportional. You know? Still not perfectly proportional. It could be larger. It could be larger. But I think that's a good mid-size for, you know, them being in the middle of the TF. Alright. And I think that is gonna be where I'll call it tonight. I think that's the last image I'm gonna do because I don't have quite enough time for one more, but yeah, like I said, that's fair. I think I got confused as to what you were saying there, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I might still adjust this body just a little bit because it's still, the proportions are bugging me, but I'm gonna go ahead and save stuff and call it a stream. Thanks for hanging out. I had a great time. Love y'all, and I will figure out a new thing for next month's stream. I'm honestly, yeah, that'll be a little bit behind. I'm kind of debating whether it might be a good idea to do like a 2-session stream day, like one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Any announcements for the 20 folks? No, I should be the Nat 20 art. I should be working on that this weekend, getting it out to all y'all. And can't wait to see what you guys have in store for me because I haven't quite checked that yet. But yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for hanging out. Hope the rest of your day and your night absolutely wonderful. Bye.